Hello and welcome to another little mini movie from Mickfield Hosters. It's right at the end of August and a beautiful day. It's a lovely morning. I thought I'd come out and give a quick video, it's not going to be a long one, of the work that we've been doing in the North Field and the reservoir. And at the moment I'm just standing on top of the reservoir bank looking into the North Field, and what I'll do is I'll pan in a little bit. We've managed to clear about a third to a half of the front end of the field along here, just to get through and just to see the condition of the ground, which is, as we thought, quite heavily warrened with the rabbit population. We have a family of muntjac deer in there. There's been evidence of foxes and badgers as well, so it's a proper little wildlife haven, but it's time we had that land back and put it into use. So our plan has been resurrected to turn it into a wood, so we need to clear it all and get that bramble under control. And to that end, David has been doing sterling work recovering the boundary, the western boundary along there underneath the poplar trees. And just where, well, just over the top of that pending bonfire of twigs is the dogleg corner of the field that I love to stand in and look at the view, because as you're looking from there back to the southwest, it's just such a lovely vista of open farmland and big skies. It's terrific. So a favourite spot of mine that no doubt we'll have to put some form of hut there so we can soak up the view when we've done all this work. And yeah, lovely. And as you come up here, just walk along a little bit, you can probably see a little bit more clearly the bank. It's a twin bank now to the reservoir. Dad, whilst thinking about how we were going to develop it, had started building a ramp up the side so we could take heavier machinery and mowers and what have you. So we've kept the ramp in place because it would be a very useful footpath to come down out the side of the reservoir. And immediately down here at the foot is a very rubbly bit of ground where I think it was developments at the fish centre years ago, and we took a lot of rubble away from Mike's place in order to shore up this particular corner of the reservoir, which was the entrance point when it was being dug out. And so consequently it's the point at which, if we end up with a leak, it happens there. So we wanted to just shore that up, and what we will do is, if I turn around again, the very end of the rubble heap there has got an awful lot of concrete, well, composite concrete blocks in it that look quite attractive, that we used to Robin used to create these blocks to put up polytunnels, so they're weighted, and then sink the metal poles into the composite rocks, a bit like gabions I suppose, but fixed with concrete. And as I said, they're quite attractive, so what we'll do is we'll reuse that lot and probably augment this section of the reservoir to create a proper rocky slope, which would be quite an interesting thing to plant up, because it's north facing. Should be really good for hosters. Anyhow, we're panning around, and I'm going to try not to blind you with the sun this morning, which is gorgeous, but it's behind me and it makes it very difficult for me to see what I'm actually filming. So I'm hoping this is all making sense. And on this corner here we've just got a few bits of bough to remove, but otherwise the sides of the reservoir are clear inside and out, apart from the recurrent nettles. So I'm just walking along this top now so I can show you the view into the reservoir. I say we've got several stacks of boughs and a few logs on the end there that has got Alan's name on when he comes back with his trailer, when he can have another day off to come and help with the chainsawing and clearance. He had such a good time. Well, we all had a good time that day. It was really good fun. Even though I wasn't involved in it, I needed to keep out of the way really, because there's two chainsaws going ahead. It's you don't want to be in the way of anything coming down. So as you can see at the bottom of the reservoir we do actually have some water, and up until a couple of days ago we didn't have anything in there. It actually disappeared completely, but we've had some much needed rain, and it's lovely now. It's the soil where I'm standing on, it's so nice to actually see it a different colour. Everything's been so parched this year. The heat and the wind that we've had with it has been so desiccating. If I come round, there's still some willow, quite a lot of willow there to clear, and into the corner here. And underneath, so where have I gone? Just trying to find it again. It's because the sun's behind me and I'm trying to focus on the lens, and it's a bit blank. There are some tyres. So I'm really excited because there's lots of tyres down there. I think it was attempts in the past to again fix leaks in the side of the reservoir where the bank was built up at the end. And so yeah, I'm really excited. That's going to be an extension to the rubber rockery. Fantastic. And so yes, coming around, this is the footway, I guess, down to the pontoon, which you can just see on the bottom there, and that used to rise and fall with the level of the reservoir, and then we had the pump housing on the top of the bank there. The pump's no longer in it, there's just a defunct motor on there. I'm just being told to get off my land. Oh, he's disappeared now, he doesn't like being on film. That was Roy. And I say the back of the bucks and the packing shed. And over, actually, what I'll do, just move along here. It's the end of the packing shed. It's got some very attractive, oh look at this, this is brilliant. This is what you do when you have the rear end of a car and want to use it in your garden. Plant it up. I think that's completely unintentional, it's probably bramble. But at the end of the packing shed, between where the chicken run is and the end of the packing shed, we're going to clear that now and put a base down for a big water tank. And so we'll have the runoff from the packing shed to fill the tank and augment our watering, so at least two of us can then water. At the moment we only one of us can water at the time without dropping the pressure, and then it's just ridiculous, and you've got such little water pressure. It's best just one of us waters, so we try and take it in turns and even out the job. But it's been a bit ongoing again this year. It's one of those things, I think we're just going to have to face it, that we have wetter winters and drier summers. And there's a lovely clump of water lilies, a little bit marooned there without water around them, but it's really still quite boggy down there. Even when it looked as though it was dry, Roy tried to wade out there, nearly lost his wellies again. So anyway, that's the clearance that's been done so far, and yeah, it's good stuff. We've got quite a lot more to do, obviously, and then we've got to get the heavy plant in to take the end away. So I just go back along here. The end of the reservoir we're going to take out, so for access, so we want a level access to this, and then we'll be pushing the banks in a little bit and creating some contours in amongst the reservoir itself, like I mentioned in the newsletter. And that's it for this month. Just thought, pictures tell 1,000 words and videos are even better. So there you go. Speak soon.